Okay, here we are. Monster Hunter PlayStation 2. Kind of the first game I ever played in the entire series, which makes me one of very few people in North America that cared about the series. It was a great game when I picked it up. I ended up playing a lot on PlayStation 2, then a lot on PSP, and continued with the PSP up until the Wii. And then I imported Japanese versions on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3. Well, mainly PlayStation 3. They turned like a portable version into the PlayStation 3 version. Regardless, this series is all about just going back in and examining and enjoying the game that led to me getting a Rathalos tattooed on my chest. Because this is an older version of the game, we don't start with much. Traditionally, in a lot of the modern games, you'll start with like a full set of the other items and weapons and stuff. But right now I'm just a naked man with a knife and a shield. Controls are unique. But you know what, for its age, maybe I'm polite. I don't think it looks too bad. It's running pretty good. You can get it in a wide screen. Look at that. It's the shadow, it's basically ray tracing, you know? Like modern stuff. Interesting. So this is the Elder. Sometimes alone, sometimes with friends. It's a way to hunt. We're gonna only hunt alone. It's all about a lot of things at this point in time. Yeah, share what you've learned. Everything I've learned in this village as the hero of Kokoto. The shop just next door is the only place in this village that deals in weapons and armor. First of all, get yourself outfitted with some equipment. It may not be much, but here's a little something to help you out. Okay, thank you. So, throughout the game, we won't really be buying our equipment, we'll generally be crafting it. There's a sum to pay for that. My inclination is like to buy something like this. Well, specifically this, because this game breaks up the types of armors you can wear between melee weapons and ranged weapons. My inclination is to get a iron sword. That's my preference, it's what I'm best with. I'm a great sword main. So I don't think I'm going to buy anything. And I'm just going to start going on some quests. First quest here is to go get some meat. We're not really going to need any armor to do that. And this knife will serve us to let us carve it. Alright, so there are some things we could get, but I'm not going to get them. Yeah, looking pretty good for a game that's older than some people who play games now. There are some downsides to the situation here, and I'm going to make some controller mistakes. Namely the biggest one is that instead of attacking with the face buttons, like triangle to do an overswing, circle to, like a circle still dodge, square to do different stuff, use. Triangle just opens up this now. And all the attacking is done with the analog stick. So if you swing up, you do that. You swing down, you know, I guess that's the implication. Is like the different actions you take allow you to do different attacks. Some of them you need to like chain by actually connecting. So just swinging, it won't really. Oh gosh. So yeah, our first mission here is just to take out this guy. Do a bad job at it. I don't play Sword and Shield much. I don't even really think I know the button for blocking off the top of my head. There's R1. Nice. Alright, so we'll put this away. Oh. Gosh. The controls. When you've played something so much, like the minor adjustments are a massive thing. And in this case, definitely noticeable. That being said, I think I only need 2. Did I get 2? No, I got bones. So we gotta kill another guy. Oh, right, yes. You have to smack them up until you can walk through them, which is kind of odd logic, but it's the nature of it. That's how you know they're dead. Okay. These introductory quests are, they're important, because it's good to know how to get raw meat, how to, go through the game, what are the mechanics of it. I remember when I first started playing this game, all the loading screens were a little bit confusing to me. The importance of some of the areas wasn't obvious. And then you go to a point and you start playing around with things, and I have this memory of hitting one of those Ps2, which is like the things we just killed. And I made a note, it's like, oh, mental note, never do that again. Because I felt so bad that I just like hit this random animal and it bled everywhere and then they all ran away. And I was a kid, I was like, oh man, like, I know I have to get meats, but wow, if it's going to be that difficult to get, I don't know if I should get it. Eventually I pushed through and I started learning what to do, what not to do. I think it's ultimately one of my great shames that I've played every Monster Hunter game effectively that's ever come out. And I beat Monster Hunter Freedom, which is the expanded version of this game with, like, what is effectively the expansion added on to the base game. Specifically all the content from Monster Hunter G, which was a Japanese PlayStation 2 release. But the original PlayStation 2 version of Monster Hunter, the very first game, I don't know if I truly beat it. So with this series, it ultimately is my goal to make sure that I do beat it. Now, I got a little bit of money, but not enough to do what I need to do. Okay, so we got meat, now we had to prepare some meat. I think we had to do effectively all of these before we can get the thing we need. I also think we start with a barbecue. I don't think I can get items. No, I can't from this lady. Yeah, I can't, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a horrible thing to try and see if we can go get some iron early. So I'll buy, you know what? I think you can buy 5 of these. They break pretty often, so we'll get those. Yeah, I'm just not sure if they're gonna give us one, but I'd rather have it than, you know, not. So we'll go out into Quest 2 really quick. Cool. Now, oh, didn't mean to do that. Here, yeah, okay, so they would have given me one. But now I have my own, so whatever. Take the potion, we'll take this. Why not take a map? Because it very well could be the case that we can go somewhere where we can mine. And if we can get some early iron, I think that would probably help us save some money in regards to getting my greatsword. It's funny, I'm trying to just hold the button to sprint, but at the end of the thing, I guess I pressed it. So, ultimately, I'm gonna have to get some more raw meat out of them, which is fine. This is something I'm pretty sure... I think it's just stuff to make ammo. Oh no, herbs. There's a fair amount of stuff that's just worth having. This is among them. Nah. So I have to say, it's really cool to see the game looking as it currently is. In the original, you know, PlayStation 2 ratio, I think it's like 480 by 640 or something like that. And on the monitors from that era, it's not too bad. But if you try and put that onto a modern screen, it looks pretty not ideal. So being able to, you know, in the modern era, so long as you, you know, have a copy of the game to use and reference, upscaling is a nice thing. Alright. This is just... I'm bending over purposely for a thumbnail. I'm not trying to do anything useful. Alright, so some of these folks... I guess... Oh. Wow, it's not accommodating for my desire to run. Okay, yeah, there's definitely a few things around here, but these big old barriers, they're gonna prevent us from going further into the level at this point in time. So I guess we can get some mushrooms here. And hope they're of value to us. Otherwise, turn around, kill these Ps2, get, I think I need to do 2 meat. But I have to do it well done. Ah. Okay. There we go. Okay, now we got that. Might as well get the second one too, because it's wasteful to hunt something and not take all of your carves. For those of us who play a fair amount of this game, maybe it's not unanimous, but between myself and anyone I've ever played with, you know, it's a bad hunting morals to leave a kill there. Now, I have to take all of this back to... Or do I? I just presume I have to deliver it. Yeah, okay, I have to deliver 1 well-done steak. So I might have actually been okay with what I had, but... Ah, c'est la vie. I have it now. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Now begins the great fun of... You know what? I'm gonna use my own because I brought my own. Can I remember what button to press when it gets nice and golden? Ah, okay, I was too slow. Nope, that was too early. I might have to go hunt some more here. I was never excellent at this. Ah, okay. I gotta go and get more. Wow. Okay, got some more. Gonna try again. Ah. Okay, come on. It's right after the song, a little bit right after the song. Although this is the quickest cooking steak of all time. Like, That is a huge chunk of meat. Yeah! Sweet. Alright, let's get rid of this now. Perfect. We are everything we need to be. I also like to go to sleep, like, right at the end of these timers, so you're kind of, like, just hanging out in bed as the quest ends. That was always the goal when I was a kid, to try and, like, time it out. So as the game was going, you were asleep, so you looked like a lazy motherfucker. But see, I'm just waking up as the quest is ending, so I'm sort of dedicated. Yeah! That's right. Alright, so I got some bones. And really not much money. Alright, back to the village. We have a little bit more money in our pocket, but it's really not of any value. So we have to go now and search for some items. I think this is, I'm looking for, like, herbs and blue mushrooms for this one. Maybe it's, like, cobwebs or something. I'm trying to go off memory for these quests, but, herb and spiderweb. Okay. So, we know where the herbs are, and... Oh, wow. I already got the herbs, or at least I got one. Do I have 2 herbs? I do have 2 herbs. So, really, I just need some cobweb. And I could have grabbed a map, but... I think I know where they are. But I did not always. These quests, ugh. You know, like, that's one of the things it's really cool about Monster Hunter, because it's a series that, at release, it didn't get a lot of marketing outside of Japan. So there's definitely, I think, a hidden sort of allegiance between those who did play the game and those who, like, found it on their own, found it before the very popular Monster Hunter World came out. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you did become one of these people who, like, played it really early on and did that exploring and figured out some of this stuff, it was just such an odd, unique, yet perfect game, and putting all the pieces together, going to the forums with the few other people who were playing in North America at that time, it was just unique. I think Monster Hunter as an introductory gaming experience probably tunes you really well for things like Dark Souls. And that was the case for me. When I first played Dark Souls, I just realized, like, oh, this is just Monster Hunter, with, like, a darker setting. And I'm sure the people who created Dark Souls have played Monster Hunter. It's very popular where they are. It's just cool. You can see a lot of different things. I never really played a lot of the clones. And it was a shame when, for me anyways, the game kind of went primarily to the DS for a while. Not that there's anything wrong with the DS. The DS was a great console. It also just, like, before World, I think everyone who was playing was kind of hoping that it would explore and expand itself. And when it kept on staying on the DS games, not to say that there wasn't cool things happening in those titles, that the story wasn't going cool directions, that the armor and weapons and all that stuff wasn't still fun. But, the engine was very much the same game. You could argue that this upscaled version of the original game doesn't distinctly look all that much different from Monster Hunter 2 or 3 or 4 even. There are definitely some different mechanics. There's riding monsters, and things have changed in how they're approached. There's new weapon types. I'm still getting used to these PlayStation 2 controls. Or readjusting, I should say. And yeah, so, like, staying on the DS and the 3DS, in a way, prevented the series from getting to World. That being said, it always seemed like the devs were very happy with not changing what was already working for them. So, you know, Monster Hunter was this big success, at least in Japan, where it was, you know, had a bigger release for sure. And it was, as I understand it, intentionally designed to take advantage of the new networking capabilities that the PlayStation 2 had. It could, you know, be really cool to play with other people, especially in this day and age. Like, nowadays, we're kind of spoiled for cool co-op titles. You can pop into any number of Call of Duty games, you know, a lot of zombie shooters are co-op. You got all the Left 4 Deads, and, you know, Back 4 Blood's really good, too. Historically, though, like PlayStation 2, is a lot of split screen gaming. So to move to something like this, just such a unique dynamic as well on that front. But as a result, and you know, it could very well be a hardware thing too, like to do all the networking, to build it into the game where it was able to do that at the level it did, as successfully as it did. It couldn't push the graphic envelope as much. Maybe it was always gameplay first, which was a good design methodology. And it's not to say that, you know, a game has to look really good to be good. This is an excellent game, and it'll be an excellent game in 20 years. Just when you played like 10,000 hours of most of the titles, you get to a point where instead of wanting to play more of exactly the same, you do want to see where it's going to evolve. Because if you want more of the same, you can always just go back and play that. Anyways, working our way through these introductory quests. Combining items. So, I think this is one where we now get to go back around and kind of like do what we just did, but do it in a longer form. Because it's, unless we start with something useful. No. Cool. So, if memory serves, the recipe for a potion is a herb plus a blue mushroom. Now, the herbs, we already know where to get those, so I don't foresee any concerns. Oh, it looks like we got more of the map open to us as well. Blue mushrooms are from the mushroom patches, and then I think on a rarer chance, they are in the stomach of these guys. So, we'll see if we can get lucky with some mushroom patches. There we go. How many do we have to do? I think it's 2 potions. So I think we need 2 blue mushroom. There we go. And we're going to need some herbs. Oh, this is like an old abandoned site. Pretty cool, honestly. Can I get up here? I can, but it's kind of pointless because there's a barrier. Okay. Now it looks like I can go over here as well. I have a pretty decent recollection of this map. I know what I like to fight here. I know what I don't like to fight here. I remember a fair amount of the monsters that do appear here. Oh, and I remember this area. This guy can trade some stuff to you. I don't think we have anything that he wants, so probably just take some herbs and count ourselves lucky if we can get out. But according to the lore of the game, I believe this guy over here is a Wyverian. So he's sort of a member of a race of people that are part of the land and part dragon. You can kind of see his feet there. Not human entirely. What business might a hunter have with me? Haha, that is quite a prize you've got there. Care to make an exchange? I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm gonna keep it today. Flash bombs don't work on Gypsy heroes. Okay, good to know. Okay, I'm sorry. God. So you can talk to him, you can get hints. Great stuff. We're going to, go find an herb, combine it with the blue mushrooms that we already have, and go from there. And you know what? Maybe it's going to be beneficial to run up this way. I know at least on the way back there are some. And maybe we'll get to see a cool monster or something. Every now and then the game likes to do kind of like these quests where, oh, it's seemingly easy, you're going to be able to get in, get out, no concerns. But what actually happens is there's like a big new monster roaming the map that's intended to intimidate you, kind of show where you're going to be going in the game. But it's mostly going to terrorize your experience until, you move on and you get a quest to hunt it itself. Sometimes, if you're good enough at the game and your equipment setup is, ideal, you can kind of skill those fights out and end up winning and getting some stuff from a monster that is far above your item level, we can say, or your current item rank, because there's really no leveling system in Monster Hunter, which I think differentiates it in large part, especially from the other games of its generation. Like, I'm looking at a bunch of other PlayStation 2 games that I want to revisit, and among them is Dark Cloud 2. And that's, Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2, or I guess Dark Chronicle in Japan. Big level up games. I think even your equipment levels up in some of them. I was looking at Final Fantasy VII, Dirge of Cerberus. Pretty sure you level up in that. So it's unique that, for the most part, you're limited by your skill, which I think could also be a barrier to entry to some people. Not to say that I'm an amazing, player and I'm the best in the world or anything like that, and not to say other people are bad. Simply that, like Dark Souls, if you don't enjoy something that won't let you inherently cheese your way through every single moment, that will require you to learn mechanics and potentially even build an armor set or a weapon set against a very specific enemy, then, you could be pushed away from the gameplay loop here. So we're going to combine blue mushrooms with herbs, and we're going to get some potions, so that now we can deliver them. Boom. Alright, with that out of the way, we got a few Kutku scales as a reward for that quest. Nothing that is going to change our life here, but not a bad item. We could sell it if we needed the money. Kutku armor isn't also an awful thing to start saving up for. We very well might go with something before that, however. I think this fishing one is the last of our tutorial quests. So let's go handle that. Okay. Now, I think we need a sunfish. Sushi fish. Sushi fish, not a sunfish. I think they are large, kind of like orangey fish. And I think we can also get some right over here. We'll see. Maybe they've changed the color. I don't even know what button to press. I don't think it's square, so we're gonna go with X. Oh. I think I lost my worm. No, okay, I didn't. I didn't react accordingly. I think when it goes down, I gotta start, spamming X. Okay. Yes. No. Was that a real bite, or was it a fake out? Okay, I could just pick. My bad. Knife mackerel. Okay. Sleepy fish. Okay, we got a stabby fish and a shanky fish. Can we get a sushi fish? Nope. I was, You know what? Now that I'm an adult and I'm returning to this and I'm looking at all these fish, I bet the fat one is the sushi fish, and I bet it's modeled after tuna. Is my only guess. I don't really want the little ones, but I mean, it's not bad practice to try and figure it out, but clearly not my strong suit. Okay, come on. I wonder with YouTube compression how visible this will even be, like little fish under the water. A pin tuna. Okay, so none of you are the fish that I need. Which makes me think I need to go to a different body of water. Cool, because I think I caught all the fish, all the shape of fish that were in that one. I don't think you can get fish down here. No? Okay. Maybe there were some fish in the little Wyverian dude's area. I'll go, check out his little pond. I kind of had it in the back of my head that you can't actually catch the sushi fish in the place right behind your hut. And maybe you could, maybe I just wasn't persistent enough, you know, it's entirely possible. Okay, yeah, I think it's over here. No, okay, nothing to catch here. I was mistaken. It's kind of fun to go back to these old maps. Because this spot is going to get referenced a lot. Oh, okay, these are different cats. Can I not fish here? Okay, I guess I don't see any fish. Oh. Okay, so it's good that we probably should take care of this Bullfango, is what this guy is. And it sucks because he's running between that area, but in that spot specifically, if I try and get him over there... Oh, okay, this is not great. Discard the stone. He'll, I'll unload out of the area, because it's like right at the border. So I have to kind of hope he's going to stay in this area. Okay. Just trying to get all of our hits here, and then we can fish. Awesome. Okay. A little bit more raw meat. Not really what we're here for, but no harm in having it. And let's hope we can get one of these sushi fish pretty quick. I'm running out of stamina too, so I wonder if it's when I catch it or... Did I like lose a bait? Yeah, okay. We'll have to be very careful here. I do not want to have to run around to go get more worms. Okay, come on. Yep. Ah. I guess better early than late. Come on, I want the big one to the right. No? Okay, this is what's biting. Okay, we're gonna get it though, so let's see what's happened. Oh, that was exactly what I needed. No inventory space left. Okay, we'll exchange for... Oh, right, I forgot I gotta start putting stuff away in this game. Let's get rid of this burnt meat. Okay, now we have that. We can go deliver a sushi fish. So, awesome. Alright, here we go. Deliver the sushi fish. Perfect. We made it happen. We are the one. I also remembered how to move around the camera a little bit. It's not with the right analog stick, it is with the directional buttons. Now I remember, like, on the PlayStation Portable, you had to induce, like, the claw to try and, like, move your camera around like this while you were fighting and moving and doing other stuff with the same hand. It was a hassle. I guess now we're done all of the introductory quests, which should be a good thing, because it means we get a more worthwhile hunting quest. Also, gotta drop off some stuff into what is a simple but very cute house. Okay. We're going to store those. Store the cricket. Get rid of that. I don't need the raw meat right now. Ivy, worm, Kutsuku scales. No, not. Cool. It's good to know I can otherwise sort things. There isn't a yet. Okay, that's what I thought. Cool. Get some room in my inventory now, because you don't want to be full on a quest. If you want to be a first-rate hunter, there are all sorts of challenges you have to meet. What level of quest would you like to undertake? Sir, I'd like the urgent one. First monster hunt. Velociprey. Let's see. Village guard, help. Oh, it's the village guard. That's the requester. Help! The children are being attacked by small blue monsters called Velociprey. 3 of the beasts are outside. Do something! Happy to do so. Still don't really think we're going to need any armor at this point in time. Okay. Actual first hunt. So, it's not going to be a bad idea to have a map, to have a whetstone, have a ration, and have a first aid med. I'm going to have to remind myself, not so much right now, but as we move into some of the later game hunts, that this is not like the modern Monster Hunters, because the game kind of softened up in how aggressive it was going to be with monsters, with needing to prepare for them. And it kind of set up this paradigm where the modern audience of the game feels really threatened when you bring in, you know, a fight that might be kind of challenging. But back in the day, that was just par for the course. In a Monster Hunter playthrough, when you get to fight that big red dragon from the title screen, that's almost always, like, a big moment. But in this game, that could be a wall that not everybody, gets past. Okay. Now, I forget where the Velociprey are. I guess it's over here. Maybe I was wrong and it's up in Area 6. For some reason, I had this recollection of them being in 3. That's okay, though. And while I could get hit and it might hurt. Huh. Oh, you know what? It might be 10. I'm just gonna run around and spend a bunch of time looking at this tone booty. That's clearly the reason that I'm not getting armor. It's not just because I want something better down the road. And just as well, there's not a tremendous amount of threat. Up until the point where, monsters start having status effects. Flying is usually a big combat modifier. These, what we're going to fight now, Velociprey, they're kind of just like, the little raptors. They're blue. They're not a major issue. But I am going to go to every wrong area first. I think that's an important part of my process. Okay. Let's just dive right in. Definitely good to focus targets out. It would be nice if we could carve this guy without getting hit. This is a little bit cocky, but getting the fangs is going to help us make some early game armor. I think also one of the first upgrades for the bone greatsword is based on these guys. So getting the parts is pretty worthwhile. The only reason I'm doing it during the fight like this and risking being hit is namely because if you don't get the body quick enough, it can despawn. And the game doesn't consider these guys to be like big fights. So they despawn pretty quick, even if you haven't carved them. Oh man, my accuracy with the sword and shield is not ideal. Okay, now we can also move during these. It's sometimes a little tough. Yeah, I ran away, but we should get our carve. It indicates that we've won. And unlike a delivery quest, when it gets to the end of a hunt quest, you're just done. Wherever you are, it's like, yep, you did what you gotta do, we'll make you go home. You don't have to, like, hunt the thing and, like, bring its head into the delivery box or something awful. So, generally now we can just run around, looking awesome, and be complete with the first few introductory quests of the first Monster Hunter. Kind of paving the way for what is an epic wyvern battling, village defending action RPG, in the sense you're playing a guy, you're not leveling up. I think a lot of people put RPG to leveling up and getting specific skills. This is role-playing in the sense of what it would be like if you lived in this world. What would you have to do if you had to be this guy? Or girl, because the game does let you play a female, which is pretty cool for an early game. Awesome. So we got some bones, some skin, and we got a much better payday. Comparatively, anyways. So with some Velociprey dead, potions made, cobwebs collected, and a bunch of other introductory stuff settled, this is where the first episode will end, and the monster hunting will continue as we move forwards. Thanks for checking this one out.